Dear viewers, stay tuned for another Cryptoverse daily report. After a red Monday, during which the price of Bitcoin plunged below $95,000, Tuesday brought a slight recovery. But the real losers of this correction were the alts, which were bleeding at double-digit percentage rates. And today, among other things, we bring you profit-taking and record liquidations brought down the price of the leading crypto after reaching the current all-time high, above $103,000. Is Google's quantum computer threatening Bitcoin? Are Russia and China planning to form BTC strategic reserves as well? There was also a sharp altcoin correction. So let us start the report. Massive volatility has hit the entire crypto market as an epilogue to BTC's historic 100K jump on Thursday and setting the new all-time high at around $103,600. One would say quite expected considering that profit-taking was inevitable. Strong profit booking resulted in liquidations weighing nearly $1.8 billion, of which $1.5 billion were long positions, that is, bets on cryptocurrency price growth. These are the biggest liquidations in recent history, but if you look at it from a more optimistic side, if nothing else, at least now it can be said that leverages have largely been removed from the market. And in addition to the usual profit-taking and the cascading effect of liquidations, an additional layer of panic in the market was caused by the news that Google launched its latest quantum innovation, called Willow. It is a revolutionary quantum chip that solves tasks incomparably faster than conventional computers. And here's the problem. Because there is a rumor in crypto, a fear that is by no means unfounded, but which is also completely unreasonable at the moment, and that is that quantum computers are coming that will crack wallet encryptions and break blockchains as a joke. That time will inevitably come, but by then, network updates will most certainly be undertaken to ensure survivability against quantum attack. The fact that this Google technological miracle, which is still in the experimental phase, can boast of a power of 105 qubits, that is, quantum bits, shows how exaggerated the fear of such a thing is for now. It is estimated that 1 million qubits are needed to break through, for example, the Bitcoin network. So, the threat is still relatively far away, and some forecasts say that this force could be reached in 5 to 10 years. The drop in the price of BTC may have been also due to the caution of traders ahead of the vote of Microsoft shareholders, who should decide today whether to add the leading crypto to the company's treasury. The decision is not yet known, but it is well known that the management recommended to the shareholders the rejection of such a move. And at the time of making this video, Bitcoin has recovered from below 95K to a daily high above 98K, but the short-term trajectory is still quite uncertain. It depends, of course, on the further booking of profits, but also on external factors such as macro data, the geopolitical development of the situation, and, in general, news from the crypto and blockchain world. As for the first one, this week prices could primarily be affected by new inflation estimates through the prism of the Consumer Price Index, CPI, which is scheduled to be published on Wednesday, and possibly the PPI, or the Producer Price Index, which comes the day after. What is important for now is that the price pullbacks we have witnessed in the past few days are quite normal for a bull market, but they are also often followed by quick recoveries with the arrival of fresh capital after profit-taking of the old owners into the market. So it is a temporary break and a mini phase of accumulation before further ascents. In other words, although short-term volatility is possible, even likely, the broader trend certainly remains upward. And despite the current correction, the future remains bright in any case. There are many signals that this is indeed so, and the expectations are high, above all from the incoming administration. In the sea of its leading man's pro-crypto promises, somehow, the most resounding one was the creation of U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserves. And while we have repeatedly said that such a move would cause a domino effect in which many other countries would follow suit, it seems that it was not even necessary to wait for the formation of the reserves, because the narrative that was created was enough of a trigger for other powers to join in. Thus, Anton Kachev, a member of the Duma, the Russian parliament, proposed the creation of their BTC reserves as an alternative asset, noting that digital currencies are not subject to control even by the financial systems of individual countries. This, says Kachev, makes them more resilient in the face of geopolitical tensions. There is no answer from the top yet, but the possibility that the Kremlin is quietly but very actively working on it, while Kachev is proposing this move, should not be ruled out, just as it could be the case with Beijing. Namely, as Changpeng Zhao, better known as CZ, the founder of the world's largest crypto exchange, Binance, believes China is ready to join the group of countries working to create strategic Bitcoin reserves. The new US administration hasn't taken office yet, so that move hasn't been activated yet, but I think we'll see how other countries do the same as soon as that happens. But this process will take place gradually, said CZ, adding that things are different with China. The former head of Binance, who grew up in China, thus believes that the country is already discreetly hoarding BTC and that the inevitable recognition is yet to come. So, according to CZ, after sufficient accumulation, Beijing's announcement will follow. What such a development, such a global craze will mean for the price of the leading cryptocurrency is difficult to even guess. If Eric Trump, the future first son, is asked, Bitcoin will hit $1 million on a wave of mainstream adoption, and the early players will be the ones to win. Eric stressed that Bitcoin is not just another asset or investment, describing it instead as a global asset. It is a store of value. It is a hedge against inflation. It is protection against political turmoil, political instability, force majeure, hurricanes, fires, floods, tornadoes, and the like. That's what makes it so powerful, he said. And while we don't yet know for Russia and China whether they are buying BTC or are just going to go that way, the biggest corporate owner of Bitcoin is completely transparent here, as it has to be given that it is listed on the stock exchange. Therefore, Michael Saylor announced that his MicroStrategy bought a new tranche of 21,550 pieces, valued at about $2.1 billion. The latest in a string of BTC purchases marks MicroStrategy's fifth consecutive weekly acquisition and indicates the company's commitment to Bitcoin regardless of price. This time it amounted to about $98,800 per piece. MicroStrategy's holdings now stand at 423,650 BTCs, acquired for $25.6 billion, at an average price of $60,324, so the company now owns more than 2% of the total Bitcoin supply. And Bitcoin's correction was child's play compared to the hemorrhaging of alts. The largest and mid-cap altcoins thus recorded one of their worst days in the last few months. And while Ether, Sol, and BNB are still holding up relatively well with a loss of only about 5%, the rest of the largest ones are down by twice as much. XRP, ADA, Doge, AVAX, TRX, SHIB, TON, Link, all collapsed by about 10%. As for the price in the top 10, Ether is at $3,660, XRP fell below $2.20, Sol is at $215, and BNB at $684. Doge is at about 40 cents, and ADA is struggling to maintain the level of $1. But even these pullbacks should not be particularly alarming, because it should be remembered that alts have been growing strongly since November 5th, the day we all know what took place. It should also be borne in mind that after the start of the new US administration, it is precisely altcoins that could experience a complete renaissance in view of the expected adoption of crypto legislation in the country, as well as a whole series of appointments of pro-crypto persons to the leading positions of bodies in charge of regulation of digital assets. Also, the alt preseason, which started with the jump of larger altcoins, especially the older ones, was somehow stifled by Bitcoin when it exceeded $100,000 overnight and once again drew all the attention to itself. The time for alts will surely come, and there's no doubt about that, and those jumps could be absolutely explosive. Let's even put aside the price speculations, the fact that a lot is happening under the hood, that ecosystems are developing, projects are being launched, but also that many are still waiting in the pipeline for the real bull to come, probably after January 20th. And consequently, the first crypto moves, the first indications of the crypto policies of the new administration. That the hype is really being created in the world of alts is also shown by the fact that the decentralized finance ecosystem, DeFi, is riding a big wave of growth, with the total locked value, TVL, spinning at levels not seen since 2021. TVL thus jumped to $134 billion, which is an impressive 150% increase since the beginning of the year. While it hasn't yet reached the $170 billion peak seen in 2021, it's clear that DeFi is on the rise again. Ethereum DeFi has also reached new heights. At the end of November, Ethereum TVL exceeded $80 billion for the first time in 2 years. So the leading blockchain of smart contracts is also waking up. And let's mention Cardano. The network's TVL reached $735.7 million, a new all-time high. And that TVL could grow even stronger if the announcements about the synergy with Ripple, proclaimed by the founder of Cardano, Charles Hoskinson, come true. It seems that the hatchets of the past have been buried, and that Cardano should soon introduce Ripple's stablecoin RLUSD into its ecosystem, but also integrate XRP into its Midnight sidechain. And that would be all for today. With Cardano and Ripple, we have reached the end of another Cryptoverse Daily Report. If you have enjoyed the video, please give it a like, leave a comment, and we would also greatly appreciate if you click subscribe. Thank you for following, and kind regards.